Hello, Bio54. My name is Anna Ahmad, and for my research, I've decided to do neurological disorders, and I put a specific emphasis on amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, better known as ALS. So what makes ALS a neurological disorder? The UCSF Health Organization defines neurological disorders as diseases of the brain, spine, and the nerves that connect them. So ALS falls into that category because it specifically affects the nerve cells in both the brain and the spinal cord. So amyotrophic lateral sclerosis is defined as a progressive neurodegenerative disease that affects nerve cells in the brain and the spinal cord. And it actually has a Greek meaning as well. So the A means no, and myo refers to the muscle, and trophic means nourishment. So this ends up meaning no muscle nourishment. And sclerosis means scarring or like hardening, which is basically what ends up happening to the muscles of someone suffering from ALS. So basically what the disease does to a person is it affects their upper motor neurons and the lower motor neurons, upper from the brain and lower from the spinal cord. And it causes them to die out, which leads to them not being able to send messages to the muscles. So the muscles can't function properly because they're not receiving those messages, and they end up just weakening and dying off. And this disease, unfortunately, is rapidly progressive, and it ends up in fatality. So the symptoms of ALS vary from people to people, but some early symptoms can include anything from tripping to slurring your speech, to fatigue in the arms or legs. And this just kind of goes to show how the disease specifically affects your muscles. And something that was commonly experienced with everyone suffering from ALS is progressive muscle weakness and paralysis. ALS is most common in people from ages 40 to 70, um, and 20% more common in men. So half of all the people affected with ALS live at least 3 or more years after diagnosis, and 20% live 5 years or more. Up to 10% will live more than 10 years. So there aren't very many treatment options out there for people with ALS. There is no known cure for it. And so this is why people mainly resort to therapy. However, the FDA did approve the very first drug treatment called Riluzole. So Riluzole is basically believed to reduce the damage of the motor neurons because it decreases the release of the glutamate. And then there's various therapy options depending on where your ALS is affecting you and your muscles. So things like breathing care, physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy, nutritional support, and psychological and social support.